Okay, I'm going to do a walkthrough video and show how we make the crankshaft. I know I had a video posted in Schoology showing how to make the crankshaft, but that video did not have any voice instructions, and he did a few little magical things that were off screen or edited out or missing for whatever reason. So I thought I would do a walkthrough on it, and I'm going to try and do my best to follow what that video is doing, but give a vocal instruction on how to work it. So first thing we want to do is go to Tools and Document Settings, Units, and Millimeters, and hit OK. So we're in the metric system. Then we're going to go to our 3D model and start a 2D sketch. Now I'm going to go through this kind of quick because I don't want the video to be 90 minutes long. So if you get lost, I'm ahead of you. Just pause the video, go back. Probably best while you're working to have this playing on a Chromebook and off to the side while you're working on your computer at your workstation, if that's the setup you have. If you're one of my students, that is the setup you have. So we're going to start this sketch on the XY plane. And I'm going to give you dimension numbers as an estimate. I don't want you to type these numbers in because I don't want you to constrain any of these numbers in the sketch. I'm just going to tell you about where they are. And as long as you're close, it should work out just fine. So the first thing we're going to do is take the line tool, and we're going to start on the right here at about somewhere around 14, 15 millimeters. I'm at 14,950. And I'm just going to go straight across, and I'm going to go about, um, let's see, about 30 millimeters across here. I think that's about what they were doing, 0 degrees, and hit OK. And then I'm going to do a line down. I'm going to start up here at about 9.5. Let me get the line here. Yeah, somewhere right around here. I'm at 9.519 and come down about 19 millimeters. So I'm below the origin, right around there, and 0 degree or 90 degrees. So I'm right there. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to highlight, I'm going to left click and drag both of these lines. So I highlight them both. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to select construction. So they're now dashed lines. Okay, now that we have that, the next step was to create a circle right at the bottom of this line. Now, when we get done and we finish this sketch, we may have to go back in and edit the sketch and make sure the circle hasn't moved off this line. We kind of want it to be in line with the origin here, but let's just go ahead and start and make a circle at the bottom here. And I think this circle was supposed to be 72. I think he did 79 and then redimensioned it to 72. So we're just going to go ahead and make it 72. And that's a really big circle. Okay. Now we're going to do dimension. And we're going to go from the center of the circle to the center to the origin here. So I'm just going to click the origin and click the center of the circle and drag that out and click on that, and we're going to set that to 44 millimeters. That's going to move it down. Okay. Now, this next part was one of the confusing parts in the video. Again, I'm going to give you rough numbers to start with to make the arc, but don't dimension them in. Just kind of try and estimate it. So I'm going to click the arc tool. I'm going to come over on the left side in quadrant 2 here, if you're for you geometry fans, and we're going to go to about negative 52 left, and we were at about 92 above. It's about where they made that arc. So 52, anywhere right in there. So I'm at negative 52.436 and 92. That's good. And then I'm going to go straight across and 0 degrees. Let's get that horizontal there. 0 degrees. And we're going to go right about 110 millimeters, or sorry, 134 millimeters over. So get this over to about 134. Yeah, right around there. And again, at 0 degrees. Just going to try and drag this down. There we go. Now, for the height of the arc, we're going to do that to about 110. So we're going to keep going up right around 110 point. That's good. All right. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now you're going to look at this and you're thinking, hey, that's not centered over that. That's fine. We're going to fix that um, with our constraint tools up here. But first, we need to make two lines: a line going from this point to this point, and a line going from this point to this point. Actually, before we do that, we're going to want to constrain those lines. So we're going to put a dot there and constrain that one, and constrain that one. We did that using the constraint tool. Now we're going to do a line, and we're going to take a line to the circle and another line to the circle and hit OK. And now you're looking at it and you're like, wow, that's really messed up. That's not symmetrical at all. Not a problem. So we've constrained that. We've made two lines. Now we're going to use the tangent feature. Click that and click this line and click the circle and then click this line and click the circle. And that made them tangent. That put them in the right spots. Now we're going to try the symmetry, the symmetric tool. Click that. We're going to click the left line. Then we're going to click the right line. Then we're going to click the center construction line right there. Boom. And that's going to center that. And now we're going to dimension. And we're going to click the left and then the right. And then we're going to come up. And we're going to change that to 33. We're going to highlight it first. 33 degrees. And then while we're still in the dimension tool, we're going to click on the arc here, click and drag down to the left, and we're going to set that to 80 millimeters. Now, we look at that, we come down real close here, we see our construction line, our origin is not right on that line below the origin of the sketch area. So I think the best way to handle that is we're going to finish the sketch like that. And we're going to come back in and edit the sketch. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm just going to grab that point with the left click and move it right over and put it right there in the middle. And then finish again. Now that should be pretty centered. So when we start mirroring things and rotating things, they should all line up appropriately. Now we're going to extrude this. And we're going to set our extrusion to 15 millimeters. And we're going to extrude both parts of this and hit OK. All right, that's the first piece we've made there. Now we're going to come along the back side. There's the back. We're going to click there and do a new sketch. And we want to put a circle down here that's in the middle of the arc of this circle. So what we do is we hit the circle tool and we just kind of touch the bottom of this. We don't even have to click a button. We just move the mouse up and that dot appears. So then we're going to click on that dot and we're going to put a circle in that is going to be 54 millimeters. Enter. Finish. Extrude. And this extrusion is going to be 46 millimeters. All right, hit OK. Now we're going to go back to the front. Click here, create a sketch. We're going to put a circle right there. Circle, right on the origin. And that circle is going to be 72 millimeters. Finish. Extrude. And this extrusion will be 38. Enter. Okay. Now we've got like the basic piece that we're going to be duplicating and mirroring actually to create the crankshaft. So now's a good time to go into our material and color it. And yours may be below the ribbon, yours may be above the ribbon. Some people have it down below. I have mine right here, so I'm just going to go to steel and let's see, steel polished. There we go. Now it's got a nice polished steel look to it. Okay. Now we want to mirror this, flip onto this side. So it's exactly the same. And we want it to mirror at the midpoint of this piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this around a little bit, and we're going to use the plane tool here. We're going to pull it down, and we're going to pick mid plane between two planes. Click that. Then we're going to click the face of this one and the face of this one. And it gives us a plane right in the middle. This is exactly what we want. Now we're going to hit mirror. And the features we want extrusion 1. Set features again. Extrusion 1 and extrusion 3. We want to extrude those two things. We want to mirror those two things onto the other side. So then we're going to pick our plane. And that's the plane right there. And now you can see it gives you this ghost outline. And that looks right. So we're going to hit OK. And bloop, there we go. Duplicated it. Now we've got a bigger piece. Now we could take this plane here. We don't need this one anymore. And we can just right click on it and select visibility off. Okay. Now we are going to do the plane thing again because we want to duplicate this whole thing and mirror it over here. And we want it to be halfway on this piece. So I'm just going to drag this over a little bit so we can see it and pick mid plane between two planes, that plane and that plane. So we got that there. And we're going to hit the mirror tool. And this time we're going to hit this button here, mirror solids. And we're going to pick our plane right there. And there's our ghost outline. That looks right. We're going to hit OK. Bloop. Now it's duplicated. And then they had you right click and turn that plane off again, visibility. I'm just going to drag this down a little bit. Now, magically in the video, he just had another plane appear here. And some people in one of the classes, may have been Red 2, figured out a way that this worked. I was behind them because I was grading those other projects, and then I was on the piston while people were on the crankshaft. And so here's my solution to get this to work. We're going to do the mid plane again. Mid plane between two planes. We're going to select this plane and the other side. That one. Right? So we got a plane right in the middle. And then we're going to do the split tool. And so we're going to select the mid plane for our split. And then we're going to select the entire object there. And we're going to hit OK. So now we should have a split right in the middle of this. And if I turn this off, visibility to off. Okay, so I've got a split line in there. Now, we're going to go to modify. We're going to drag that down and we're going to move bodies. And when I click the bodies, if I click on the right side, it should, yeah, just let me select that one. And we're going to take the third choice here, rotate about line. And we're going to rotate this 180 degrees. And we're going to select for the rotation axis this middle point, and it should flip it upside down. Please, 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 please. Yes. Okay. So, but it's still two separate pieces, and we would really like it to be one piece. So we're going to do combine, and we're going to select our solids here. So let's see here. Select them both. And we're going to join them. Oh, wait here. Hang on. I think we have to be select solid, select that one, select solid, select that one. And then OK. Now it's back to one piece again. There we go. And now, guess what? You guessed it right. We are going to mirror this again. So we're going to do, we're going to mirror it in the midpoint of this piece. So we're going to have to do mid plane between two planes and pick that plane and that plane. So we got a plane right there. Mirror all solids. Mirror plane right there. There's our outline, and hit OK. And I'm going to just drag this out here. And look at that. We've got down, up, and down. That's how our crankshaft is basically set up for our 4-cylinder engine. Thank goodness it's only 4 cylinders. Otherwise, we'd have to keep doing this. I think in the old days, I think there was a car called a Hudson. I think it had a straight 10 or something, or straight 8. Had some really long engine. Must have had this incredibly long crankshaft with all these different lobes up and down and all that. So, but we're doing a 4. So that looks pretty good. We rotated that. We've joined it. We've turned our, we're going to turn our plane off now because we don't need that one anymore. So we're going to right click there, visibility. Okay. Now, the fun parts. Okay. So we're going to go to, I believe we were going to go on the left side here. Let me just go back to home to see what this looks like. Yep. And we're going to create a sketch here. And we're going to put a circle right in the origin here. And this circle is going to be 35 millimeters. Enter. Finish. Extrude. And this extrusion is going to be 80 millimeters. Okay. And we're going to go to the other side. This side got a little tricky. Go to this side, create a sketch. Now we're going to actually make 2 circles on this one. I'm going to write this. Okay. So we're going to make 2 circles here. And circle tool. The first circle is 144. It's big. The second circle is 110. And what we're going to do, we're going to hit OK. We are going to right click the inner circle. First, we're going to left click it. No, we're going to right click it. And we are going to construct it. Hang on, how do we get out of this? There we go. Right click, construction. So that's now a dotted line. Okay, now we need to make a circle on top of the construction here, right at the very top. So let me just zoom in on this a little bit. So we're going to put a circle right there. And in the original video, he did like 5 and then changed it to 10. So we're just going to go right to 10 and hit enter. And now we've got a 10 millimeter circle. Now we're going to duplicate this all the way around. We're going to have 8 of these. So we're going to use the circular tool. And so we're going to do that for axis. We're going to select the construction line. We're going to change it to 8 circles that we want to have. And then for geometry, we want to click the circle. And if we hit OK, oh please, oh please, oh please, it should duplicate this and have 8 of them going around. Yes, okay, perfect. It worked for me anyway. If it didn't work for you, escape and Control Z and do it again. All right, so we've got that. And so we're ready, I think. Can we extrude this now? Yeah, I think we can finish. Extrude. Set this to 15 millimeters. And hit OK. And then let's just take a look at it. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Hit the home button. Yeah, so we got that in. Now I think what we want to do, I think the last thing he had us do was hit the fillet button and set our fillet edges to 3. And this was kind of weird. He hit this button out here, the all edges of selected solids. So if I click that, everything gets selected and we'll fillet everything 3 millimeters. Then he removed this one that said 100 edges, took that one out, then hit the apply and create new fillet feature to go to just the circular ones, I think. So when you hit the plus, these ones are the ones that are highlighted, the end and where all these circular features are, and hits OK. Let's hit OK. And please, oh, please, yes. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So all these holes have the little fillet in them, all these edges here, these bearings in the middle where those pieces are, they all have the 3 millimeter fillet. And I believe that is it. That is how you make the crankshaft. And if you want to know why the middle two are up and the outer two are down, why 2 pistons would be fully up and 2 pistons would be fully down, I'll explain that in class at a later date and explain how these engines work, gasoline engines. So you want to do a file save as, and you want to save this in a folder specifically for this project. Now, I didn't do the piston yet, but if I had done the piston first, which maybe I'll do the piston video next, just in case anybody's farther behind on that and needs the video on how to do the piston. Um, when you're going to assemble this at the end, you want to have all your project files in one folder for the assembly for it to work right. So we'll just make a new folder if you haven't done so already. Call it engine, and we're going to double click on that, and we're now in that engine folder, and we'll call that the crankshaft and save it. And hopefully that worked for you, and we can move on to the next part. If you have to do the piston, do the piston. If you've done the piston and the crankshaft, the next part is the connecting rod. Okay, hope this helped.